Hello everyone, Ivan KV is here and welcome to Shark Numbers. Many of you have heard of ChatGPT and many of you have probably tried using it, but using ChatGPT correctly versus incorrectly makes a big difference. Let's talk about the most efficient ways of using ChatGPT. Not only will I tell you the theory behind the man's success in using ChatGPT, but I will also share some of my own experiences and examples of how you can use this tool, and I will share some of my very own discoveries. Welcome to Shark Numbers, the podcast with no glitter and no BS. My name is Ivan KV and I'm happy to be your host today. This podcast is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and many other platforms. Listen to my thoughts on any platform that better suits your needs. If you're watching on YouTube, before we get started, hit that like button and let's get rolling. Without further ado. The key to success while using ChatGPT lies in prompts. Similar to how a good coder is different from a bad coder, a good ChatGPT user is different from a bad ChatGPT user in the effective use of prompts. What is good, you may ask? Well, it's what helps you effectively and efficiently reach your goal. If you're a writer, an efficient use of prompts will help you generate articles that are plagiarism free, and also you pass copy score tests, meaning your articles will not qualify as or AI generated by using the scanners, which will give you an opportunity to create highly SEO optimized content fast and without a writer. If you are a coder, proper prompts will help you generate code that either has fewer errors or is completely error-free. The list can go on and on, writing emails that sound more natural, getting solutions to math problems accurately, figuring out names of diseases based on the patient's symptoms. Any output and the quality of it will heavily depend on your input. I tried using ChatGPT for a lot of different tasks. It's my must-use tool on a day-to-day basis, and here's what I noticed. The longer your prompt is, the better and the more accurate the result is. It doesn't mean that you should just add random text, a lot of random text. No. What I mean by saying longer prompts, what it means is you want to be as elaborate as possible, as articulate as possible. Think this way. How would you, for example, describe your friend to give an idea of who they are? You could say, my friend is a white woman. This description qualifies as a description, but it's not too descriptive if it makes sense. It's enough for us listeners to depict the complete and accurate image of a person if we only know what that person's race and gender. Is this woman short or tall? Does she have brown eyes or blue eyes? Does she have tattoos? Does she have long or short hair? What is her hair color? Just like mentioning details of a person for a more accurate description, you would want to give more information to ChatGPT for more accurate results. To make the tool work for you, give it more input data. Here's how I approach this subject. If I want, for example, to proofread my script and I type in the word proofread and then copy and paste my script in ChatGPT, ChatGPT by default rewrites the entire script. Often it substitutes my words with other terms. Sometimes it works, but oftentimes it doesn't work. Why? Because there is not enough information that I provide ChatGPT with, and the tool is not a mind reader. Here's what I like to do to improve the output results. In this particular example, I would type in proofread text, keep the results are usually significantly better. Still, sometimes ChatGPT decides to cut off some parts of the sentences, or the AI tool combines two sentences together and doesn't sound natural. If this happens, I added the initial input in the chat. I don't create a new input, but instead I added the original message. You can do it by clicking on the edit. I added the initial input, and then you just add additional piece of information separated by comma. Something like, do not rearrange sentences, do not change the sentence structure, do not combine sentences together. Click on OK and see if the problem disappears, if the problem gets resolved. If not, click on edit again and continue polishing my prompts. Now, what do you do, let's say, if you are not a coder, but you want to write a good script for your trading indicator? Here's what I discovered. ChatGPT is usually good at creating something simple. To write a complex code, to take one step at a time. Just recently, I tried to write a Pine script code for my indicator. I asked ChatGPT to first create an RSI indicator that would send buy signals at the bottom of the wave and sell signals at the top of the wave. It gave me something like a sample, partial code, and gave suggestions on how to continue writing this code, but this was not enough for me. So I kept asking ChatGPT to work. I did not stop there. Like, I'm not a coder. I don't know how to continue writing the code. So I would not give up on this ChatGPT thing, and I would continue asking additional questions. So what I requested, I said, all right, now show me how to write this code. How about you do it for me? And the ChatGPT surely did this. The tool wrote a complete code. It was not error-free because once I copied and pasted the text, the Pine script on TradingView, it just gave me something that wasn't working. It had a bunch of errors. So what I did, I copied errors and pasted those errors in the ChatGPT chat, and I asked the tool to fix those errors. I would compare this process to a CTO managing his or her teams. If you're a CTO, you have to deal with a variety of different programmers. You have front-end programmers, you have back-end programmers, you have somebody who optimizes servers, and sure, you have to be able to communicate with people because nobody's a mind reader. If you have a team, the bigger your team is, the more complicated it is for you to work with this team. So I would compare ChatGPT to an employee who is extremely fast, significantly faster than an average employee. But unfortunately, it's a type of employee whose emotional intelligence is extremely low. And it's important for humans. So the one big difference between humans and machines might have high IQ but very low EQ. When we deal with humans, sometimes it's easy for us to just mention a couple of words and get things done because humans understand things that machines do not understand. When it comes to machines, even a simple task can be challenging because machines does not have the same feelings, does not have the same logical process as humans have. So what I'm trying to say is think of ChatGPT as an employee who has absolutely no sense of humor, sense of reality, nothing. It's a library full of books, full of knowledge, but you will need to elaborate on each single step. So I started with a generic task. I requested a specific type of code. Once the code was provided, I copied all of the errors and I made ChatGPT to fix those errors. Once the code was fixed and I saw something on the screen, I copied and pasted my Pine script on TradingView and I saw something showing up, I realized that I did not like the appearance of certain features. So I requested those features to be changed. I said, find, let's say, this font in the script and change this font. So I copied the code again, pasted it in ChatGPT and requested certain features to be modified. And that's how you do it. It's a little bit of babysitting, but ChatGPT has knowledge and you have perseverance, structure. So just be a good manager. One final piece of advice I'm gonna give you is just remember, ChatGPT is really good at copying, so do not hesitate to use examples. If you try to create an article but your prompts don't work, no matter what you do, no matter what type of information you provide ChatGPT with, it still doesn't get it, use examples. What I typically do with articles, if for example, I know the type of article I want ChatGPT to write for me and I provided ChatGPT with all the needed information but still it's not getting it, I find a couple of articles from, let's say, Wired and Forbes. I copy the text, I paste it, and I say, memorize this style and write my unique article in a similar style. And you will see how instantly magic will begin happening. Artificial intelligence is getting smarter only because it's trained, because some humans provide specific data and ChatGPT mimics, copies, learns, memorizes. So do the same exact thing, use examples. I hope that my tips will help you. Let me summarize the key important points. ChatGPT is smart, but it has low EQ, emotional intelligence, so it will not read your mind. The more descriptive you are, the better your outcome. Create templates with long-tailed prompts and see which prompts work and which ones don't. If you find something that works for you, just save those prompts. You'll need them later. Be patient and learn to be a good manager when it comes to ChatGPT. It's like managing a super fast employee that still needs your input and management. And good luck to you with whatever you're doing. Leave your comments in the comment section. Tell me about your experience with ChatGPT. If you're watching me on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Also, let me know what else you want me to talk about. I'm done for now. I'm done for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll talk to you soon. Ivan KV out.